Ida Bhikkhave Bhikkhu Kaye Kayanupasi Viharati Atapi Sambhajano Satima Vinaya Loke Bija Dominasam. In this teaching, a bhikkhu meditators dwell contemplating the body in the body. A meditator practice the foundations of mindfulness on the body. Atapi, being ardent, you make true effort. Satima, being mindful and being thoroughly aware of the object and having concentration. Sambhajano, clear comprehension. So here in this teaching, Viriya, Sati, Samadhi, Pinya, and also faith. If one part does not work properly, the whole system goes out of control. So if any one of the factors does not work properly, the whole work of our meditation is thrown out of balance. So each of one of these 5 mental factors, Viriya, Sati, Samadhi, Pinya, and Saddha, each one of these 5 mental factors must be working properly and harmoniously with other factors. So value of mindfulness. Your mindfulness is regulating mental factors, so it helps to keep effort from becoming too much. Your mindfulness helps concentration from becoming too much and so on. So the mindfulness factors is the regulating factors among these 5 components in your practice of meditation. So mindfulness is always needed. There can be no excess of mindfulness. Mindfulness is needed everywhere until we die. So mindfulness is like a prime minister who does all the work of a king. Mindfulness is a very important factor in these 5 factors, but every factor is important. And each one of them must be working in harmony and in balance with the other factors. So when you put effort, when you mindful, when you have concentration, when you see clear comprehension, when Saddha, Viriya, Sati, Samadhi, and Pinya, 5 mental factors are working in balance, and you are clearly comprehending, then what is the result? The result is Vinaya, Loke, Abhija, Domination. You overcome Abhija and Domination. You overcome covetousness and grief or desire and discontent in the world. That is the result you get from clearly comprehending in your practice of mindfulness meditation. Now here, some English translation missed the point. They translate it as having overcome. They translate Vinaya, they translate as having overcome desire and discontent, or having abandoned or having removed desire and discontent, or covetousness and grief in the world. So what is our practice for? What is this mindfulness practice for? Mindfulness is for overcoming covetousness and grief. We have grief, we have abhija, we have desire, and we have discontentment. So it is for overcoming abhija and domanassa, desire and discontent. Abhija, covetousness or desire means attachment, and domanassa, grief means ill will or anger. So vipassana or Satipatthana meditation is for overcoming abhija and domanassa, desire and discontent, or covetousness and grief. If you have already overcome desire and discontent, you do not need to come to the center, you do not need to practice. For this very purpose, we are practicing mindfulness. But if we have already achieved this purpose, we do not need to practice mindfulness. So here we should translate Vinaya Loke Abhija Dominasa as overcoming or removing desire and discontent in the world. So we translate a bhikkhu dress, contemplating the body in the body, ardent, clearly comprehending and mindful, removing. That means at the same time, as soon as you're mindful, at the same time, you remove, you overcome covetousness and greed. So it is not having overcome. That means you overcome desire and discontent. As you practice mindfulness, so we need to be aware of this translation. So here an explanation with reference to Pali grammatical construction would be helpful. But since it would be too involved, we have no choice. but to ignore it. Vineya loke beja domanasam. Removing desire and discontent in the world. What means? Removing desire and discontent or covetousness and grief in the world means you avoid craving or attachment or anger or ill will concerning the object you are observing. What means loke in the world? In the world means in the worlds of body, kaya, in the worlds of vedana, feeling, in the worlds of sanya, perception, in the worlds of sankara, mental formation, and in the worlds of vijnana, consciousness. Concerning that object, we see one object and we can be attached to that object. If we come to the conclusion that it is beautiful or it is good, we will be attached to it. Abhijja. And we can have anger or hatred, etc., towards that object if we decided it was ugly or disgusting. Domanassa will arise. So Abhijja, Domanassa, desire and discontent, these mental defilements can come into our minds when we experience something. In order to prevent them from arising, we need to make some protection. And that protection is mindfulness. Mindfulness encourages us to see the nature of phenomena as they really are. When you capture the true nature of the nature of phenomena as they really are, you are protected. When you are mindful, mental defilements will not get a chance to get into your mind. When you are mindful, when you comprehend clearly, when you see the mind and matter clearly, you know that these objects come and go. The objects are impermanent, disappearing continuously, and so you do not attach to them, so you can avoid abhijja and domanassa, covetousness or attachment or desire, and domanassa, grief or hatred or discontentment regarding that object by your practice of mindfulness. Whether you say overcoming or removing, or whether whatever, actually you are avoiding or preventing them from arising. Not that they have come and then you overcome them, or you remove them after they have come, the meaning really is preventing bija, preventing covetousness and grief, preventing desire and discontent from arising in your mind. If we do not practice mindfulness on the object, mental defilements will surely come, either covetousness or desire or grief or discontentment or hatred. These mental states can come, but by the practice of mindfulness, you can prevent them from coming. Preventing these mental defilements from arising in your mind is what is meant by overcoming them. But if they have arisen, of course, we should make them the object of our attention to eliminate them. When we talk about enlightenment, we say at the moment of enlightenment, mental defilements are eradicated. What mental defilements are eradicated at that moment? The present mental defilements or past mental defilements or future mental defilements. The past mental defilements are already past. We do not have to do anything to get rid of them. And the future mental defilements are not here yet, so you cannot do anything about them. What of the present defilements? If they are present, there can be no enlightenment. Because enlightenment is a wholesome state, and those mental defilements are unwholesome states. Wholesome state, kusala, and unwholesome state, akusala, cannot exist together. Wholesomeness and unwholesomeness do not coexist. So defilements that are said to be eradicated at the moment of enlightenment are not of the past, not of the future, and not of the present. Then, what mental defilements are eradicated? Actually, strictly speaking, those that are eradicated are not called defilements or kilesa. They are called latency or anusaya in Pali, which means the potential to arise. What the enlightenment consciousness eradicates is that potential. That means when something is always with us, we say we have that things, for example, smoking. Suppose a man smoke, but right now he does not. If you ask that man, do you smoke? He would say, yes, I do. Because he smoked in the past, and he will smoke in the future, and he have not given up smoking. So although he is not smoking, at this very moment, he say, yes, I smoke. In the same way, now right at this moment, you have no mental defilements in your mind, and you have no mental defilements in your mind, but after few moments, you go out and you step on something sharp or someone push you unmindfully or intentionally, or you get angry. So mental defilements comes when there are conditions for them. So we say we have mental defilements. I have mental defilements, you have mental defilements, but not right at this moment. Now, during the retreat, most of the time your mind is pure and mental defilements are away from you by the power of meditation. So not right at this moment, mental defilements. So that liability to arise is what is eradicated by enlightenment. The mental defilements that are said to be eradicated at the moment of enlightenment are actually nothing but that ability or liability to come up. When they come up, they are already there. In the same way, here, overcoming desire and discontent means avoiding or preventing them from arising in your mind. How? By the practice of mindfulness. You make effort, ardent effort. The whole section, the whole 1 hour, the whole 1 day, 2 day, 3 days, the whole week, the whole month, the whole year. You make effort and you apply mindfulness and you have concentration and you see mind and matter clearly. When you see the mind and matter clearly, there is no chance for these mental defilements to come into your mind. In this way, vipassana or mindfulness practice remove your mental defilements. There are three kinds of removal of mental defilements. The first one is Dhutanga Vinaya, momentary removal. This removal or overcoming is just momentary, just by substitution. Next moment, they may come back. It is of a very short duration. It is called abandonment by substitution. That means you abandon the unwholesome mental state by substituting them with the wholesome mental state. So when there is a wholesome mental state, because you always mindful, and there cannot be any unwholesome mental state. It is only one way. The way is for mindfulness, the way is for wholesome mental state, so there is no way for unwholesome mental state. So you put wholesome mental state in the place, and so unwholesome mental state do not get the chance to arise. That is called abandonment by substitution. That will last for only a moment. The next moment they may come back. So you very ardent. The whole day, 18 hour, 90 hour, the whole day you continuously developing the kinds of mindfulness. So at the moments of vipassana, desire and discontent are removed in that way by substituting them with your mindfulness and clear comprehension. But unfortunately, you get out of vipassana, and you meet some condition for them to arise, and mental defilements will arise. So because of this, you come to the center, you can do the practice again and again, like all areas. A second removal is temporary removal, Vikambana Vinaya. It is a kind of abandonment called temporary abandonment or temporary abandonment or abandonment by pushing away. When you push something away, it may stay there for some time. It may not come back quickly, like plants in the water. If you push them away, they may stay away for some time, but then very slowly they may come back. The kinds of removing or abandonment is called temporary abandonment or temporary removing or removal by pushing away. That is achieved by jhana. When meditator gets jhana, or when meditator experiences jhana, or when meditator reach the higher stage of vipassana knowledge, you are able to push these mental defilements away from some time. Mental defilements may not come to you, come to your mind for the whole day, for a whole week, or for a month. In this case too, mental defilements can eventually come back if you maintain that stage. And that removal is called total removal. Samocheda, cutting off or removal by cutting off. It is like you cut the root of a tree and it never grows up, it never grows back. So the total removal or removal once and for all is called removal by cutting off. And that is achieved at the moment of your enlightenment. The mental defilements eradicated at the moment of enlightenment never comes back to you. Arahant has eradicated all mental defilements. He has no attachment, no anger, no pride, no jealousy, and other unwholesome mental states. Even though they are provoked, Arahants will not get angry. Even though they may see very attractive and beautiful objects, they will not feel any attachment or desire for that object. Those are the person who have eradicated mental defilements by totally cutting off, totally cutting them off. So these are the three kinds of removing. And here in the practice of vipassana, we can understand the two kinds of removing: momentary removal, the first removing, and second kinds of removing, temporary removal. That is, if you have practiced meditation well, and you are able to avoid desire and discontent with regard to the objects you observe, you will find that you are able to avoid desire and discontent even with regard to those objects that you do not observe. Here, do not observe means you do not treat with mindfulness. Naturally, the objects you come across can cause desire and discontent in your mind. If you do not practice mindfulness on the object, then you will have attachment or ill will towards that object. That happens to most people. If you are good at vipassana practice and you have this experience of avoiding desire and discontent with regard to objects that are observed, you will find that you are able to prevent them from arising, even with regard to those that are not observed. That is what is called temporary removal by vipassana, vikambana, vinaya. Vipassana can achieve only these two kinds of removal, momentary removal and temporary removal, but vipassana cannot achieve the third one, the total removal. Total removal will be done by your enlightenment or path consciousness, mega citta. When Buddha said, Vinaya loke beja domanasam, removing desire and discontent in the world, he meant that a meditator is able to avoid desire and discontent from arising with regard to that object which he is observing. Here, abhijja, desire or covetousness means all kinds of attachment, greed, lust, and other similar mental states. Domanassa, grief or discontentment means not just grief, but anger, hatred, depression, sorrow, all are included in grief or are included in domanassa. So there are three roots of unwholesomeness, and they are attachment, anger, and ignorance. Among these three, two are mentioned here. Abhijja, covetousness or desire, is actually the first one, which is lobha or attachment. And the second one is dosa, domanassa, that is anger. So by covetousness or desire, we mean all shades of lobha. By domanassa, grief, we mean all shades of dosa. Moha, ignorance, is not included here because moha is very difficult to prevent and eradicate. So three rules of unwholesomeness you already know, but need to say again. Can you follow me? Three roots of unwholesomeness. Three roots of unwholesomeness. Lobha, dosa, moha. Attachment, anger, ignorance. So here Buddha mentioned only Bija and Domanassa, Lobha and Dosa. So in this sentence we must understand that a meditator practice body contemplation, making effort, applying mindfulness, getting concentration and clearly comprehending. And at the same time, he or she is able to avoid desire and discontent, covetousness and grief from arising. It is the same with regard to feelings, to consciousness and to Dhamma objects. The commentary said that the statement removing desire and discontent or overcoming covetousness and grief refers to removing of all the 5 mental hindrances, because when desire and discontent that are the strongest of the 5 mental hindrances are mentioned, you must understand that the other mental hindrances are also mentioned. You know the 4 foundations of mindfulness, four kinds of setting up of mindfulness. There are 4 kinds of setting up of mindfulness because there are 4 kinds of objects. The first one is Kaya Nupassana. The first one is body. Sometimes body does not mean the whole physical body, but a group of some material properties. Beside body, the Pali words Kaya can also mean a heap, a collection, or a group. Breathing is also called the body. Different parts of the body, the breath body, or the group of material properties related to the breath that arises when there is breathing. For example, pressure, heat, cold, friction, motion, etc. Different parts of the body are also called the body, kaya. So by the word body, we must understand anything that is associated with the body. So you contemplate the body mostly, every sitting, rising, falling, every standing, stretching, bending, lying down, all the body activities you try to contemplate continuously. So we will continue next day, other, other contemplations of feeling, contemplations of consciousness, and contemplation of Dhamma objects. We have to stop our discourse for today by practicing Vipassana meditation, by observing and by contemplating the Kaya, Vedana, Citta, Dhamma, contemplation of the body, contemplations of feeling, contemplations of consciousness, and contemplations of Dhamma object. May all meditators be liberated from all suffering. May all yogis realize the real peace in the very near future.